All right, let's talk about taking back control, specifically how you can remove your personal information from Google search. Today, we're breaking down a really powerful tool from Google that helps you do exactly that. Okay, let's just start with a question that, well, it might make you a little uncomfortable. Could your social security number or even your driver's license just pop up in a Google search? It sounds pretty scary, but it's a real risk, and it's exactly what we're going to tackle. But here's the good news, and it's really good news. You are not powerless here. Google just pushed out a huge update to its Results About You tool, and it's designed specifically to help you hunt down and remove this kind of super sensitive personal info. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll look at the new kinds of data you can actually get removed. Then we'll dive into the new tool itself. I'll walk you through how to remove your IDs and explicit photos. We'll touch on a really key distinction you need to know. And finally, we'll talk about taking back control. Let's get into it. All right, first up, let's be crystal clear about what kind of really sensitive data we're actually talking about here. So with this update, we're talking about the big stuff: driver's license numbers, passport numbers, even your social security number. This is a massive expansion because before it was mainly for things like your phone number or home address. And, just as important, it now makes it way easier to remove non-consensual explicit images. Okay, so how does this all work? How does Google actually help you find and get rid of this stuff? Well, it all happens in one place, the Results About You hub. You can think of it as your personal command center for your online privacy. Yeah, it's basically a dashboard right inside your Google account. From there, you can see what's out there about you, and this is the key part: request to have personal info removed when it pops up in a search. And get this isn't some brand new, untested feature. We're talking 10 million people. That's how many have already used this hub to manage their info online, even before this big update. It just goes to show you how much people want and need these kinds of privacy controls. All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts, the practical stuff. How do you actually use this thing? We're going to walk through it step by step, starting with how to protect your government IDs. Okay, the whole process is actually pretty simple. It breaks down into 4 main steps. First, you go to the hub. Second, you tell it what info to look for. Third, it notifies you if it finds anything. And fourth, you hit request removal. That's pretty much it. And finding the hub is super easy. You can just type the URL into your browser. That's goo.gl/resultsaboutYou. Or, probably even easier, just open the Google app on your phone, tap your profile picture, and you'll see the Results About You option right there. Okay, I know what you might be thinking. Wait, to get my info removed, I have to give Google more of my info? It's a totally fair question. For what it's worth, Google says they use some pretty heavy-duty security and encryption to make sure the info you give them for monitoring is kept safe and isn't misused. All right, let's shift gears and talk about removing explicit photos. This is obviously an incredibly important feature. While they've had a policy for this for a while, Google has now completely streamlined the process to make it way faster and easier to use, especially since it's often needed during a really stressful time. So here's the game changer. You can now start the removal request right from the image search result itself. You see the image, you click that little 3-dot menu next to it, hit Remove Results, and then choose the option that says it's a sexual image of you. It's so much more direct and immediate. And there are some other really helpful safeguards built in now too. For one, you can report multiple images in a single form, which saves a ton of time and hassle. You can also opt in to a filter that tries to proactively block new explicit images of you from ever showing up. And of course, you can track all of your requests right there in the Results About You hub. Okay, listen up, because this next part is probably the most important thing to understand about how all of this works. There's a huge, crucial distinction we need to make between Google search and the internet. So here's the deal. When Google removes a result, they're removing the link from their search page. That's it. It's like taking down a giant sign on the highway that points to a specific building. The sign is gone, so it becomes incredibly hard for anyone to find that building. But the building itself is still there. The original web page with your information still exists out there on the internet. So just to be super clear, this tool removes information from Google search, not from the entire web. And that's still a massive win for privacy, right? Because for most of us, if something isn't on Google, it might as well be invisible. But just remember, it's not a magic delete from the internet button. So let's bring it all together. What does this all mean for you and your ability to, well, take back some control over your online presence? Ultimately, that's what this is all about. It's a real, tangible tool that helps you manage what people can easily find out about you. It's about putting the power back in your hands to keep your private information, well, private. So when can you start using this? The new ID removal feature is available right now in the US, and Google says they're planning to bring it to other countries soon. And the improved removal process for explicit images is already live in most places around the world. So there you have it. The power to keep an eye on your most sensitive info is literally at your fingertips. It really just leaves one question, doesn't it? Now that you know how to do it, what's the first thing you're going to secure?